Have you ever had the impression that something enormous is taking place in front of you and that almost anyone is yet aware of it? That's precisely where we are at the moment. Big players, quiet changes. The same individuals who left that cryptocurrency 2 years ago are now responsible for the architecture and back-end operations of the entire system. The most powerful organizations in the world are locking themselves in for the financial reset, while everyone else is out there debating meme currencies and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, on Twitter. Additionally, BlackRock is a name that appears in every discourse. The key query, though, is what will happen if the Swiss system's power structure ultimately collapses? We are going to respond to that question. Welcome back to Pepo Coin Channel. Without further ado, if you're new here, people, please click the subscribe button for me, as you did yesterday, too. Hit the thumbs up button. The more thumbs up we receive, the longer YouTube will keep this video in their algorithm. I want to express my gratitude to everyone who consistently shows up and gives me the thumbs up. This is the best method to help the channel. Let's get started right away because we have a lot to discuss. Bitcoin, $160,702. Please pardon me. At the moment, it is down 76%. At 4,332, I will arrive. At $2.80, it is down 3.5%, and XRPs is still in 5th place. The entire market capitalization of cryptocurrencies is still at beautiful people. If you had zoomed out for just a few weeks, you would have noticed that the entire cryptocurrency market capitalization was at $3.89 trillion, but today it is at $4.02 trillion. This cycle's ultimate target is 7 to 10 trillion, which will make all of us XRP investors really pleased. Here's a brief reminder because I woke up this morning and had even more coursebook calls scheduled. Strategy, tax strategy, LLC, escort formation, inquiries, OTC account details, where to go, what to search for, exit strategy, and personalized plans for you. For 30 or 60 minutes, it's just you and I on camera. You choose it. You must make the reservation today. Next week is when the next earliest call will take place. Verify if it works with your timetable. Verify that it fits me. Now, I discussed this last night live. Let's take a look at this, which is really intriguing. If we go back to our last move on the XRP chart, it was around October or November of 2023. At that time, XRP began to break out, or more accurately, it began its consolidation phase, which led to a breakout. How long did it last? It lasted until November or December, at which point the move began to move upwards, so you're looking at about a year of consolidation. After that year of consolidation, what happened next? If we take this into account, we are looking at a move of about 600% if we go to the WIC. Then what? As you can see, we may argue that the consolidation began in December of 2024. What have we been up to? Here, we've been consolidating quite well. I predict that XRP will break out in December or January for that extremely bullish final parabolic run, if history is any indication. What does that lead to? The question is that. We'll call it at 590 if we get a similar performance from the previous time and go that close to a 600% move on XRP. We're seeking at those who have about $20 in XRP. Be cautious. We'll be sitting here for $15 to $20, which is intriguing, right? Something to keep your eyes on his little throwback, but this is crucial because it will lead into our following portion. This is Larry Fung discussing his level of optimism regarding Bitcoin. Recall, Bitcoin was once referred to as a money laundering instrument by this same individual. He is now bullish. He referred to it as digital gold on national television. That's hardly the voice of a regular investor. This man genuinely owns assets worth over $10 trillion, and you don't ignore it when a man with that kind of influence publicly promotes Bitcoin. Every word Fink says is a cue to Wall Street that the time has come, so you decode it. Bitcoin is real, in my opinion, is a tool to use when you think that nations are devaluing their currencies through excessive deficits, and some nations are. Therefore, I firmly believe that Bitcoin has a place in portfolios. I think that's going to be one of the asset classes that we all consider. I consider it to be digital gold, was wealthy as a sovereign. There you have it. This leads us to digital gold, since BlackRock recently acquired $426 million worth of Bitcoin. Take a moment to process that. The world's largest asset manager just lost over $500 million. Not at the bottom, not in the midst of terror, but at the beginning of the next leg up. Keep in mind that BlackRock does not purchase tops. They make them. Additionally, this is their indication that the bull run has formally begun. At the moment, every retail trader is after microcaps. The true game is something they're missing. Build up within an institution. This is the origin of bull markets. People will say, the price didn't move and they're not going to pay attention to this and they're not going to be stacking when there are silent billion-dollar entries instead of pyrotechnics. Then, the price suddenly skyrockets overnight and everyone says, yeah, it was BlackRock. However, that leads us to the following section, which is about interest. For a very long time, this man has been calling and talking about this. I'd like to return you to my other YouTube channel now. Go follow it, Ripple Bullwinkle, if you haven't already. All right. Patrick Bet David covered $1,000 in XRP, right? We covered a video of Patrick David. Everyone made fun of him for this clip. It now hits quite differently, because the actions being taken by the very elite he was discussing now exactly match his prediction. Surely Patrick wasn't speculating. He is aware of these things and is making connections. Tokenization, legal certainty, institutional entry, and XRP's position in international settlement. We will also listen to this clip. After that, we'll talk about Patrick Bet David's remarks from yesterday and how he's doubling down on this. On all the topics he has discussed, so pay attention. Indeed, my lovely visage appears on this screen. FedNow and SWIFT are replaced by XRP. Do you know what occurs? Here are some numbers for you. Compared to SWIFT, XRP's ledger is substantially faster and less expensive, processing transactions in 3 to 5 seconds for almost nothing. The demand for XRP could be attributed to any of the other technologies we are discussing. Analysts estimate that a $10 trillion market cap could push XRP's price to $100 per token with full replacement, potentially driving it up to $1,000. If you are unaware of what that means, SWIFT processes 5 trillion every day, or 1.25 quadrillion annually SWIFT. If XRP captures 5 to 10% of all you, let's say 10% of all you, $125 trillion annually, there is a demand for XRP. Just because an expert says something doesn't imply they're entirely correct. That's all, though. It is a method of examining the possible outcomes of this. It's quite unlikely that this would occur. Keep in mind that just represents 10% of Swiss volume. But why did I display that to you? This is why I showed you that. Yesterday, October 8th, he appeared on and recorded a podcast in which they discussed SWIFT, and inquiring as to whether SWIFT will be replaced, and they discuss the potential of both XRP and Ripple. Later on this afternoon, I will return. Give it a thumbs up as you leave. I really appreciate you listening.